Hell. What is going on, guys? My name is Colin. I love all things horror. Back at it again. Could you imagine if I actually talk like that? I am back again to talk about some DVDs that I've picked up recently in the past couple weeks. Pretty decent stack here to get through. So let's talk about some of the movies. Some I've seen, some I haven't. Some have been on my list for quite a while. I'm happy to have them now. So let's go through what I got. First up, we got Gothika, starring Halle Berry. What do you know about this movie? Did you say nothing? Because that's more than I know. I just know that it has Halle Berry in it, and it's a horror movie, and yeah, I don't know why, but I think this will be cool. Oh, it's got Robert Downey Jr. in it. I'm a little bummed that it's one of these like clippy case DVDs from like the late 90s, early 2000s, because I don't really have any other of these in my collection, so this is not going on the shelf because it's gonna ruin the look that I'm cultivating on my shelves. Excited to check it out. Next up, banger alert, we got Sleepy Hollow from Tim Burton. This stars Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci. That's how you say that? Ricci? Sounds right to me. This movie's awesome. I watched this for the first time last October, I believe. Starts off just like a spooky, like whodunit type movie, and then just goes balls to the wall, batshit, like supernatural slasher almost. A lot of fun. If you haven't seen it, definitely a big recommend. Huge, like spooky, cozy fall vibes if you like that. And if you like Tim Burton, you're gonna be a fan. Definitely check it out. Recommend from me. Next up, we got Willard. This is a remake of a movie from the 70s that I have not seen and don't know anything about. This movie, though, fucking rules. So this is one of two movies that Glenn Morgan has directed. If you don't know who that is, I don't blame you. Again, he's only directed two movies, but he was one of the main guys that brought us the original Final Destination and my favorite movie in the franchise, Final Destination 3. I believe he was a writer, maybe co-producer with James Wong, who directed those movies. He also did some writing for X-Files episodes, and he also directed, his other movie was the 2006 Black Christmas remake, which is one of my favorite slasher remakes. I know, yeah, my taste. But Willard is a ton of fun. This stars Crispin Glover, just playing the weirdest guy you've ever met, but he does play it pretty sympathetic. He basically is just like a down on his luck loner. You know, his father just passed. His mother is sick and very mean to him. Boss hates him and he gets no respect. Anyway, what he does is control rats to basically get revenge on all the people that wrong him in his life. If that sounds ridiculous, it's because it is. Let me throw a clip in here to convince you how fucking awesome this movie is. Yeah, check it out. Willard rocks. Next up, You're Next. It's been a little bit since I've seen it. I remember seeing it back around the time it came out, which, if you can believe, was 2011, I think. Sounds right to me. The DVD says 2013, but I don't think that's right. I just realized I've had Scooby-Doo 2 blasting in the background this whole time. I hope that audio was not super distracting. Probably was, but I'm not going to go back and redo the beginning of the video. So anyway, You're Next. I think it was super ahead of its time for the era of horror that it came out in, because if you can remember, in the early 2010s, we were obsessed with ghosty shit, Paranormal Activity movies, Insidious, The Conjuring, stuff like that was coming out left and right. Those were the big cash cow horror movies for the time. So to come out with like a subversive slasher that kind of flips the tropes of the genre on its head, has a super badass final girl, a lot of twists and turns, a lot of humor. It's a lot of fun if you haven't seen it. Definitely a big recommend. Just a really bloody good time. Classic here, had to pick up Pet Sematary, where my Stephen King head's at. I read this book for the first time last summer. Read a lot of his books last summer. Got to pick up a few more of his adaptations on DVD. This is one of my favorites. As far as the book goes, I have not seen the movie in a very long time. I remember watching it as a kid, and the scene with Zelda scared the shit out of me. I'm excited to revisit that and see if it still holds up. And like I said, I love the story. It's one of my favorite Stephen King novels. Oculus. This is one of Mike Flanagan's first movies, if I remember correctly, at least one of his first like theatrically released movies. I'm a huge Mike Flanagan fan. I love Midnight Mass. I love House on Haunted Hill. I was a big fan of The Fall of the House of Usher. And Hush was a super cool movie too. So pretty much everything this guy has done has been awesome in my opinion. Oh, and Gerald's Game, that was also a good movie. I have not seen Oculus. This is one of the few things of his I have not checked out yet, so excited to dive into this. Heard pretty cool things. I found Motel Hell at the bargain bin at Walmart, which I thought was such an interesting movie to find at Walmart for $5. The cover intrigued me, and the premise sounds campy and goofy, and that's how I like my horror. I believe this is an 80s movie. Yep, 1980, so it's gonna have 70s vibes too. I think this is gonna be right up my alley. I'm super stoked to check this out. All right, with talk of the legacy sequel or reboot or whatever you want to call it coming out soon, and the trailer actually looked pretty good, I had to pick up I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I still know what you did last summer. Now, I am notoriously a hater on these movies. I do want to give them another shot. because recently in the past year or two, I've gotten really into these late 90s slashers. They're super cozy for me. Unfortunately, the first time I watched these ones though, they just did not do it for me. They're not nearly as clever or fun as the Scream movies or even something like Urban Legend. They just feel a little lazy and lame to me. Really not a ton going on. Despite what this quote in the box says, more laughs and chills than Scream. Gene Wolfe, you should be ashamed of yourself. What are you talking about?
What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
But anyway, like I said, I'm willing to give it another shot, and I am probably going to check out the new movie when it comes out, just because I'm a sucker for late 90s slashers. And I'm pretty happy that they're getting like a reappraisal, it seems like, and we're getting a lot more remakes and sequels. Seems to be that time now where late 90s shit is getting remade, so I guess that is where we're at now. I picked up I Am Legend because I remember liking this a lot when I was a kid. Have not thought about or revisited it in a very long time. Does it hold up? I don't know. I remember the CGI being a little wonky on like the zombie creatures or whatever, even when it came out. So we'll see. But I do remember this being a pretty gripping and good movie, so I'm excited to revisit it at some point. I picked up Frogs. The reason being, I believe James A. Janice and Chelsea Rebecca on the Dead Meat podcast shouted this out and said it's just like a campy good time. That's right up my alley. It's a very early 70s movie. It says 1972 on this, so it's one of the older movies in my collection. But just the tagline, "Today the pond, tomorrow the world," makes me laugh. So I'm sure this is a funny, goofy good time. It might suck, but we'll see. I also found Army of Darkness at the $5 Walmart bargain bin. What a steal. I've been looking for this one for a while. It was one of the few in the Evil Dead franchise that I still had to pick up. It's also the only one in the franchise I have not seen, so very excited to check this one out. Heard a lot of good things, and excited to have a complete collection of the Evil Dead movies now. Because, in addition to that, I also picked up the original Evil Dead DVD. I love the green text on the spine and the cover. Looks so fucking cool. I now have this, Army of Darkness, as you saw, Evil Dead 2 on Blu-ray, and both of the new like reboot and sequels on DVD as well. Really cool franchise. I'm a big fan of the original Evil Dead. I think it's my favorite in the franchise, so I'm happy to have them all now. Next up, we got Devil. Now, I thought this was an M. Night Shyamalan movie for the longest time. You can't blame me because his name was all over the marketing on this thing. The trailers, it's slapped right in the box that it's an M. Night Shyamalan produced. Now, that being said, I think it has a lot of M. Night Shyamalan-isms, the twists and the writing being a few. I have not checked it out since around the time it came out. I remember it being pretty scary and good, so I hope it holds up, but we will see. Another couple I wanted to pick up to revisit was The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2. Now, I of course saw The Conjuring back in theaters when it first came out, and it scared the shit out of me, just like all these ghosty James Wan movies did when they came out back in the day, because I was a teenager and shit like that scared the crap out of me. And especially when you see them in the theaters, they're infinitely more scary than when you sit down to watch them at home. It's still a good movie in my opinion. I just revisited both of these like last week. The first Conjuring to me is a lot better as a standalone movie. It's not nearly as scary as it used to be, either because I grew up or I've just watched a lot more horror now and I'm used to all of the telegraphed jump scares and shit like that. The Conjuring 2, on the other hand, just did not do it for me. Felt a lot more cheesy and corny. None of the scares really landed for me. I know there's a lot of people that think it's better. I think it's a little too goofy for me. I don't think I'm gonna check out much more in the Conjuring universe, but I'm happy to have the first two movies. 10 Cloverfield Lane. This is an awesome thriller starring Mary Elizabeth Winstead and John Goodman. I just rewatched this like last week. I saw this in theaters when it came out and I loved it. So it's really cool to watch it a decade later and find out that it still completely holds up and is a really cool like single location almost thriller that keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole time and has a really cool twist, sort of twist ending. I mean, the movie is called 10 Cloverfield Lane, so you kind of already know what to expect from the title. It really has nothing to do with the first movie, but it's kind of in the same universe, I guess. I don't know what they were doing with this franchise. Is it supposed to be like an anthology series? I guess. I've never seen the Cloverfield Paradox, so I don't know what that really dives into, but the first Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield Lane are both worth your time for sure. I picked up The Butterfly Effect. I know very little about this movie except that Ashton Kutcher is in it. I've heard very mixed things about this, mainly from the We Hate Movies guys. I've heard it's really stupid, but then I go on Letterboxd and it has really good reviews, so I guess I have to form my own opinion. I'll definitely be checking that out soon. My last pickup from the Walmart bargain bin recently was an American Werewolf. Jesus Christ. An American Werewolf. Dude, it's an American Werewolf in London. I saw this at like a drive-in theater like years ago. I think it was a double feature with Werewolf of Sleepy Hollow. Does that sound right? I'll post up a I'll put up a picture of the flyer here. I don't remember anything about that movie, but I did not really pay too much attention to it. I do remember seeing the awesome like body horror transformation scene that everyone knows about. I have to definitely sit down and revisit that. I'm not a huge werewolf movie guy, but I think this is one of the best from what I've heard. I think it's regarded as like one of the classics. So excited to check it out. I'm excited to check out more werewolf movies. I don't think I've seen too many. Aside from like Cursed and Ginger Snaps are the two that really come to the top of my mind here. Yeah, 1408. I saw this when I was super young. This was one of the ones I like caught on the Sci-Fi Channel. Definitely spooked the hell out of me when I was a kid. We'll see if it holds up. I believe this is also adapted from a Stephen King book. Yes, it is. So that's cool. I love Stephen King stories. John Cusack, Samuel L. Jackson, cool cast. I like movies that take place in like one location. And from what I can remember, this one kind of goes crazy. There's a lot of cool set pieces and effects and spooky shit. So I'm excited to revisit that at some point. All right, and last up in this haul is one I'm super excited about. It's 28 Days Later. This was actually one of the first movies to ever be fully filmed on a Motorola Razr camera. Don't fact check me on that. It's 100% true. No, but real talk, this movie has a very, very distinctive and cool, unique look to it. I like Cillian Murphy a lot. I think he's a great actor. I think this is one of his like first or earliest movies. And it's just a super, super cool, tense zombie movie. Are they zombies? I don't know. The Rage virus. I don't know if they're really technically zombies, but it's basically a zombie movie. Anyway, I have not seen the sequel, 28 Weeks Later. I'd love to pick it up soon if I can find it reasonably priced somewhere, and I'm super excited to check out 28 Years Later. Trailers look really cool. I usually stay away from trailers, but most of the movies I've seen in the movie theater recently have had that trailer in front of it, and it looks really, really good.
You're gonna be next.
So yeah, guys, these are my most recent DVDs I've picked up. I love collecting movies, as you can probably tell. That being said, though, I have been slowing down a little bit on picking up DVDs. Reason being is I have a ton of the ones that I want to get at this point, and I'm not just going to buy shit to buy it. Despite some of the movies I have in my collection, I'm not just going to start buying bottom of the barrel crap to fill my shelves. I'm really trying to curate my collection. So it might slow down a little bit on haul videos. I'll still be picking up movies here and there, especially if I go out to like record stores or thrift stores and find cool stuff in the wild. But huge hauls like this might slow down a little bit. I have a couple more video ideas in the pipeline that I'm super excited about. I'm going to try to dive into the movie Wishmaster. If you haven't seen that, check it out. It's a really, really fun time. I'm probably going to do more of like a commentary style video on that. And I do plan also on ranking the Final Destination franchise as Final Destination Bloodlines, the new movie, comes out, I believe on the 16th. So I'm going to try to get out a ranking of the franchise before that movie hits theaters. And yeah, I really appreciate everyone that subscribed, comments, likes the videos. I know it's been a little bit since I've last uploaded. I really appreciate you guys bearing with me. I really want to focus on making quality content that I'm passionate and excited about, and not just dump videos for the sake of having something to talk about each week. That being said, I might not continue posting on a weekly basis and rather post when I have videos ready or fun ideas to talk about. So also just released some music, shameless plug for that. I'll play a quick clip and link to a lyric video if you guys have any interest in that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you're having a good one, and I'll talk to you later.